Denle a aceptar. Ya está, ya. Comencemos.
Good afternoon, teacher and classmate. Today we are going to explain about poster presentation. Before explain these slides, I want to show you these sentences. You have done your research and now you want to present it to an international audience. One thing is write your research, and other is to present it to an conference. You have to reformat your research to transmit the important ideas of your research. Now, this is very important to when you want to present your research to an international audience. Next, please. Siguiente. Yeah. Now, why are international conferences so important? We're going to talk about some points that are important. One, they allow us to network with other people. It's important to make connections and contact with other people to make your network bigger. Other is that they can help us to keep up our career as researchers. Also, we need to take any advantage to go to international conferences outside Peru, because when you when you go to an international conference, it's make you improve your knowledge and skills. It's very important to take advantage of that. Also, you need to make sure that people are going to stop at your presentation and 18 your conference. You have to um, make your presentations very explaining to people achieve let you pay attention. And finally, international conferences are your opportunity to make impact on other stakeholders. It make you uh, network to other people. Next, please. Now, how do I transmit this information to the attendance? A poster can be an excellent way to have impact on your scientific stakeholders. Um, but only if you design the correct way to show them that if it has the most impact. It have to show the most impact. Next, please.
Okay, what are the main poster components? We read here, we must get a summary, background information, the results, and the conclusions. This is a almost perfect correlation to the parts we have in our investigation and our research. So it is maybe easy to think that we have to copy all the parts in our research to the poster, but it is not the case. We have to make only to point the most important findings, the most important details of our research in the final poster. Next, please. Okay. So, which are the most important parts on our poster? First, of course, the title. The title must be real clear, must outstand over the rest of the poster. It must be clear for people who read this what are the title here. But apart from the parts we have mentioned before, we have to make a poster to look really, really, really attractive. We can get the attention of other people make some impact, because the main target, the main task we have to do with the poster is have attention from other people. Another thing that must point here is that conclusion is the most important information we can bring to other people. So conclusion must not be at the end of the part where it is more where they outstand over the rest of the poster. So the poster must be good looking to make an impact. The next. Well, we have here an example of a poster. Here we probably have almost every part we have mentioned before. We have the title, is clear. We have the parts, but they have some problems. The problem is not the color. The color is really good. We make a good contrast, but maybe it's not clear for the people to follow which is the first part, which is the second part. Maybe we have to read upside down, maybe we have to read to the side. We don't know. We have to mention in the next slide. Next, please.
Well, now there is another mistake that we can make when we are making a poster. For example, here is a little cartoon that says, "Here, use this magnifying glass. Let me know if you have any questions." And the title is "My Journal Paper That I Cut and Pasted and Put in Poster Format." That is an absolute mustn't. You are not supposed to do this because first, the font size on your journal paper, it's very small and it's very difficult for the people to see, to understand what's important. Also, a poster, as we say before, it's supposed to be eye-catching. It's supposed to be notorious. I should pass next to it and say, "Oh wow, what's this about? It seems interesting." That's the main point of a poster: to catch the attention of other people, and to see if some of them are interested in collaborating with you or are interested in your research. So this is an absolute mustn't, but the cartoon is very funny. Next, please. So when we are going to make a poster, we need to have in mind that we can't use the same format that is in our paper. In a paper, we can have, well, two columns in order to make the reading easier. But the font size is very small. There aren't any colors. The text is difficult to follow when we are from too far. So what we need to do, we need to transform this paper that is suitable for reading or looking for a very short distance into a poster. This poster is easy to read, only contains the most important information about your research. It, it stays clear where it begins and where it ends, and also it's eye-catching. It's nice to see to it, and it can interest some other people. If the design of a poster is pretty good, it can catch the attention even of people that are not even remotely interested in the theme. Next, please. Now let's see a bad example when we are making a poster. For example, let's see this. First, the color palette is too strange. We have a purplish background that it's a little darker on the bottom. We also have dark letters. We have like magenta letters. We have yellow letters. For example, from this distance, it's very difficult for me to read the authors. Say like Amal, age, and also their department. It's very difficult to read from this distance. Then there is one terrible mistake that has been done in this poster in particular. If you see, the conclusions are there in a little corner, like they were hiding, and there's it's just one sentence. Why is this terrible? Because that's the main part of your poster. or the most important information, what I have achieved by doing this research, what are the results I am giving to the scientific community. So, if your conclusion, the most important part is going to be in a little dark corner, your poster isn't very good because you're not communicating the information you want to give. Another mistake is too much text. It almost seems that like they just copy and pasted their paper and has a lot of small words that they can barely being can be read from a far distance. Next, please.
Okay, in this slide, the author also provides us with other example. In this example, we have uh, a main picture, but also there is a lot of text, and here tables are tricky because it does not reflect the results, or it does not reflect the results of this research. As and like I said, there is a lot of text. Maybe the conclusions are okay, but the design is not so good. Okay, to talk about of a good poster, the author provided us with this template that is more understandable, that it has a good layout. So he gave us some suggestions. First, the size of the different parts, titles, subtitles of this poster, like size. Okay, he gave us the numbers. No? 155 and 63, 68 introduction. So we could use this template to do our poster. Maybe some things that we can talk about this is like we have to mention some our acknowledgements. Like we have to do the regards to people or organizations that support us, the resources used as the images from the sources from where sources are used, the tools that we use, so and he give us some layouts to display our poster. No, I think that is very explainable, and like you say, it's a good template. It's eye catching, easy to see, easy to understand. There is not a lot of text, and have images is not or see won't be direct to see this. And there is no a unique way to do our poster. We can do several kind of poster. So they also mentioned that we can use a symmetrical balance, like as the parts of the poster are symmetrically similar, or there is no some information in one side and more information in one side than the other, or a symmetrical balance. That we can put tables in one side and only text in the other, or radial balance, that we have all the attention or the main parts of the poster in the center part.
Okay, so we are going to finally summary all of the knowledge my partners have given you. So it's better to take note to these slides. What are the best practices for our scientific posters? First, the title needs to be eye-catching to make someone stop and read, obviously, because we want to the researchers to look at the poster and communicate with them. The layout is it has to be uncluttered, clear, simple, with boxes for text and graphics. And the boxes in the layout, it's a good practice that we numbering them because make them easy to follow. We have to remember that the scientific poster, is for a international audience, not only our local. No, so i- if we numbering the boxes, it makes them easy to follow and clearly understandable. So the summary has to be brief, very brief, and at the top of the poster. Next, the text, it has to be a simple font. Doesn't need to be a extravagant font, and large font size. That is very important. Not less than 24 points. And took note on the colors because we don't want to. Any contrast like not cyan over magenta, and also it's important to note the not green over red or vice versa because of the people with color blindness. No, right? So we have to remember that, and the results is better always show graphics than tables because it's easy to understand and is more attractive to the person. Next one, please. So the conclusions, is better if we can present a single take-home message and don't put it on the bottom, because we want to the people remember this message of our research. The main points we want to uh, result, is better if we use color boxes for them. And in the background, make sure the image we present don't intrude too much on the story. Don't research too much because maybe it's not the most important part. And also, we are gonna to uh, add your photo so people will recognize you in the meanwhile you're talking. Also, include your email address and include the acknowledgements or funding resources of your research. It's very important to include your email address because we want to people or other scientists write to us or make a work contact networking because it's important to maybe collaborate between our partners sciences. And the last one, next slide, please. Thank you. So, this is these best practices is also not only for the for the poster, but also for the presentation. Like leave some empty space so that the content stands out to the reader. The reader can view all your poster and not only a part. And don't abandon your poster during the poster viewing presentation, obviously, because if we abandon, people maybe will only be seen by they cannot ask any question. So don't abandon your poster never. And also bring copies, some A4 copies as handouts because you can deliver those copies. And get yourself business cards because it's the best way to give the person your contact information, and this is very important. And also, for that one, the abstract can contain extra detail that can be omitted in a poster. That is a very best practice. So this is the presentation we have prepared to you, and we hope that it will be very helpful in the future. Thank you very much.